Peace. Peace and light, everyone. We are just over here about to start our conversation. AM healing is back in effect. We are recording, and I have a great co host here. I'm going to bring her up right after I do our intro. It's time for me to press the record button. Welcome. This is Mahatma Starseed. You're tuning in to EM Healing, and we are here for another dynamic episode. They are fun for some, others, it's a little bit more of a deep breath. And so today is going to be one of those days that we're just going to pump up the volume, get everybody excited about healing their conversations. So I'm going to bring up with me today's co-host, our guest for the evening, the goddess Rael, and I'm going to let her introduce herself to you, and everyone can get more familiar with our goddess.
Hey, peace and blessings. Hey, Mahatma. Oh, look at that. Look, and nothing went off the whole time. It's all this confirmation.
Yeah. It's like the universe saying, welcome.
Exactly. I'm excited. Very
Thank
excited.
you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Please share with the audience for those who are not sure about who you are yet. Please share.
Well, peace and blessings, everyone. My name is Goddess Rael. I am the Starseed activator over there at Paranoia Starseed podcast. Um, I've been doing Paranoia for about now 5 years. And I love doing Paranoia Starseed podcast. My podcast is for Starseeds, people who have a mission here to uplift humanity in many different ways. We know Starseeds are very authentic and unique. So yes, that's who I am, and you can catch me on Paranoia Starseed podcast all the time. I can't even tell you what day of the week because we're always open. It's kind of like 7-Eleven over there. So thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for keeping that 24/7 kind of a vibe,
Yes, thank you.
because I know I need it. I know I love listening to all of the transformational energy from the Starseed energy. Our family is growing. More and more people are becoming more aware about who they are, what they need to do with it, and how the heck are they going to be able to keep vibrating at that level.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
yeah, so I definitely recommend individuals tapping into your podcast for the simple fact that, it's like it is the school, it's the Starseed school. It's a great place to jump into, especially for people that have already been doing the work. And now I know we're not here to promote promote you, and we're going to get into this conversation. However, you bring a very strong dynamic, and I love to applaud individuals out there that are doing that work. So,
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you know what? We do it for the love of it. And I love to be on platforms where with other individuals. It's beautiful how divine is aligning us as we move forward in this work and we are meeting. Like it's so like divinely guided how we met and how everything is just falling into place. This conversation I think is much needed in the journey of healing and in the journey we're all on right now.
yeah, yeah. This is we're on our season. So we're in our fourth season, and what has transpired is the unfoldment of healing the conversation. And just to give a little bit of a an understanding, right? I started the EM healing platform because Elite Motivation severely needed to take time and really step back, because the owner, controller, was here in need of healing from a brain injury, which is not something that's really um like publicized as far as like what happens with the brain and what you have to go through. And it has taken me up until now, right? I had my concussion in 2019, had a couple of more in the process there. But it took me to get to here, to this moment, to really understand the ebbs and flows of our body. And I've been growing that understanding. And I have always attempted to express to people that I have worked with that are going through their journey of healing, like, hey, I know it might seem like I got like a lot of understanding of like how to move through stuff, but I still have my own healing. I still have to regard all of the processes of what my body can do to the same level of like how much a person has to really understand how to regard their own mindset and their concepts and how to be strong, right? And so I'll say this, right? To start us off into this wonderful conversation about healing the trauma or the drama, I had to decipher, am I healing my trauma or am I healing my drama? Because as I'm healing this powerful traumatic injury, I'm understanding that I cannot try to always do both at the same time. We got to pick our battles, right? And if my brain needs to shut down, I need to allow it to shut down. I need to be unwavering and respectful that my body is saying, hey, I cannot do this right now. Even though my mind is like, we're Gucci, we can do this, you know? We suck it up, cry on the inside, and keep going about our day. This is something that we've been taught, right? But when it gets to these modalities of life to where it's like, that's not going to get us to the level of awakening that we need. And so I get to utilize these examples for myself and see how I can help expound it on the many different avenues of healing from traumatic situations. So I want to throw it to you and, ask you, like, what do you feel like, how do you feel like you've been balancing these aspects of the trauma and the drama? Or is it something that you're seeing together?
So I think um, it's taken a while to even be able to distinguish the two, trauma versus drama. A lot of times we get caught in the loophole of trauma, and it starts to look like drama because it's unhealed trauma, right? And it turns into drama. It becomes excessive external things that we haven't taken care of internally. The trauma that we've gone through, maybe even in childhood, growing up. I've been through lot to become who I am today. Um, I don't take the title goddess lightly. I take it as, you know, um, an ascension from some things. And so we descend into trauma so that we can ascend from drama and trauma into who we truly supposed to be. And I think the drama comes along with it, me personally, when I was a child, I experienced not just trauma to myself in situations that I was in, but watching growing up and seeing trauma being enforced around me. So it was like I was living a trauma and then also experiencing the trauma external to myself. And how I chose to deal with that actually as a child, I feel like was very mature to be a child. But I also know that I was a starseed child. So I was a little different. When I looked at things just a little bit differently than others. So I just learned how to put up a wall around myself when it came to drama. I learned how to become my own stillness in the middle of the tornadoes. I think that's why I always work for like disaster assistance and stuff like that, because I can deal well with trauma and drama in ways that I don't necessarily think I like it, but I notice that my life, it follows me in life, and I think it's because it's a way for me to test your strength. It tests who you truly are. You never really truly know who you are until you go through some traumatic stuff, because you have to come out of it, right? If you
Yeah.
go through trauma, that means you've been through it, and
Yeah.
you look back and say, okay, I went through that. It's not like you're stuck in it. The drama is when you get stuck in it, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I think that how we look at situations that we are in is important, and I think self-awareness has a lot to do with it. I grew up a very self-aware child. It was true. I was very aware of myself. So when things would happen, I would go internally. A lot of people, and I would watch people. I'm very observant, so I would watch, and when people would do things and go to other people, that's where the drama would come in. Like, oh my God, this is happening in my life, and then they run and tell someone else, right? And then boom, there's some drama, because now they're over there talking about what's going on in your life. And so as a child, of course, I wanted to be like everybody else. So it's like, I can't keep everything inside. Let me go. And then when I tested it, baby, knowing it was going to, it definitely did what it did, because that's the part of the pattern. If you put it external, if you don't heal it,
Yeah.
a drama, it becomes a part of your now story, versus something that you can say, I healed from this, and I've become more than this because I took it in and I took care of it. Most people push it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so true. It's so true. I try to be depressed. I try. I tried. And it's not that I cannot get depressed. I have, sad moments. But like true depression is like someone that's like sitting in it and they're like wallowing in it for like days and weeks and months, a couple of hours, a couple of days. Like it's okay. We're not always going to feel like, I'm this magical person at 24/7. I
Right.
mean, you can, but I don't know how realistic that will be. I don't know how easy it will be for an individual to connect with you, because it's already hard for people to connect with us because they see we're so observant,
Yes.
you know,
Yep.
and if and that's why I do my best to attempt to express about my concussion. I don't try to talk too much about it, but I do attempt to, because I try to tell people, like, just because I'm intelligent doesn't mean that my body is at full capacity. I might
Mhm.
be working with all the marbles up here, but it doesn't mean that all of my body is going to be able to move in that unison. And so it's very much the same with anybody else that is working on this path. There's going to be aspects of ourselves that can move easily, and the other aspects that are just going to need help. And it could change, some days you might need more help with your trauma, where other days you're going to need more help with your drama. Because if we try to ignore it, it's just going to compound, and it'll be drama, trauma, drama, trauma. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of us are figuring out how to get through as conscious individuals, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it was interesting when you were just saying about what was the part about getting through the trauma, right? So I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I I know that my concussion was like probably the worst thing that could ever happen to my life, but it was like the absolute best thing at the same time that could have happened to my life, because it allowed me to go through something. And I did my best to like try to be like really depressed about this. I am telling you, I tried. And the one thing that I learned is that my personality is not that type of personality. Like, I could be in the most crappiest place and my spirit will just be like, it's okay, we're good. Like,
Yep.
like I can feel it rise. It's I can't extinguish it.
I love that. That's no, honestly, Mahatma, that's Starseed energy. It's the I can't be down to like if even when something like even when I'm hurt, honestly, there is something in me that be like, yeah, but I want to go ahead and get past this because like I'm really not trying to stay here. Like it just be like, okay, like honestly, I will tell people sometimes I'll go through stuff and I'll be like, how am I really supposed to be feeling right now? Because right now I really want to do like I need to know what the human emotional reaction is because I'm not. No,
Yes.
I feel you when you say that. I understand it because I honestly have to ask myself like because people really truly expect you to react a certain way and I will give you a whole nother reaction because I'm
Yeah.
more concerned with keeping my peace and my joy, right? Because of
Hmm.
all the trauma and drama that I have experienced, I've learned how important to keep my peace and joy is. So it's not too much you can do. You know, after I lost my mom, which was very traumatic for me, there wasn't
Hmm.
too much you could do to me to kind of knock me off of my square. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm gonna leave you. Okay, cool. Gives me more time to work on this. Like that's where my brain goes. It's like, okay, well that's gone. I guess it's time to do something else because I realized that life goes the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? It's just life. It just does. It doesn't hold back for anyone. It doesn't stop for anybody. So I get what you're saying when you say like I tried to be depressed. Like I tried to stay in that emotion, right? Just to sit in it because it was like I want to. My thing was I wanted to just feel all the feelings so I can get over that feeling part. So it was like, can I feel it all in one day? And Divine was like, no, you can just. I'll give you a week. And most people will take a year or 2 years, but for me, it was like I need to hurry up and heal because I got other things to do. I can't let trauma hold me back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's that knowing that you got other shit to do. It's just
Yeah. And if you let it hold you back, right, then you get caught up in the drama.
that's it. That's so true. And I
And
feel like
drama
that's the
that's
point
not
of it.
even yours.
It's
It's
not
not even yours.
to reach to that right there. That's the whole point of it, though. It's to loop you in with your
Yeah.
good energy to start pulling that into this dramatic bull crap that has nothing to do with you. So it's like heal what needs to be healed in you, and don't
Yeah.
feel bad for the fact that you don't have the natural human reaction to sit in it because you know what? You have elevated past that. There probably was a time where something would hurt you to the point where you would sit in it a little bit longer than you do now. It may not have been as long, but maybe just a little bit longer. And now it's just like every time it gets a little bit less long. It's like, yeah, okay, okay, okay. Because it's like life is going to continue to grow. Like, if I haven't learned anything, things change every day, right? Every single
Yes.
day, things are changing. So whatever I left
Mhm.
behind was never left behind. It was the energetically evolving into whatever I'm going to catch up to later. It's never
Mhm.
anything, nothing is ever lost. So it's like trauma, honestly, is
Yeah.
a way to elevate yourself. If you get knocked
Mhm.
down, right, the whole thing is to get back up. That's the whole hero story, right? Get knocked
Yeah.
down and get up. Ain't nobody talking about no hero who was born, everything was great, and then he died, everything was great. No, the hero
Yeah.
story is to go through the trauma and overcome it and become
Mhm.
greater from it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
some and many times trauma saves you from drama, you know, where it's like because you open up this spiritual mission and you told universe throw it at me and they don't threw it back. And you're like, I can't deal with your drama right now. I done got all types of smacks
Right.
on so many dimensions.
That is true. That is true. You can go through enough trauma that when people come with drama, you see it coming. You like, yo, like for real, I have healed those wounds that now
Yeah.
are your loopholes. These are your problems, and I see them
Yeah.
because I can recognize them. I'm never saying I'm greater than them. I'm saying I've risen above it, and that's always like I feel like people who have a lot of drama, their drama is always comparison with trauma comparison too. Like you just haven't been through enough shit to be that happy. Like, no, you don't know what I've been through that to keep this much joy within me. Like it takes a lot.
Right.
I
Yeah.
haven't had to be broken to my core to find my joy. So
Yeah.
you don't be mad because I'm smiling and you want me to be sad. Like, oh, you want me to be depressed and I don't know how to process that. That's not an emotion for me. Like
Listen, I experienced that same exact thing with my concussion because people that experience me in my everyday life, they're like, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna start my physical therapy and my speech therapy. And they're like, for what? And I'm like, my concussion. And they're like, oh, I didn't know there was anything wrong with you. How did you not? Like, and I'm like, don't you see the difference of my life? And they're like, well, like before you used to just do a lot of things. And I'm like, that's a difference.
right.
And I'm just like, you know, it's okay to be hurt and able. And I've learned that.
Yes.
And
Oh
I'm
wow.
okay
I
with
love
that.
that. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. People think that if you are hurt, you are down. But when you have a certain energy in you, it won't allow you to stay down. It just won't. It
Yeah.
won't. It won't.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like one of those things, you know, those little they hit you and it bounce right back, and you like, boom, you just hit it and they keep coming back. You're not gonna out like you're gonna get
Yeah.
tired from hitting me before I get tired from bouncing back. Cause it's just
Right.
what I do. I bounce back.
Right.
Like
Yes. I have learned that. So so I'm going to tell you what my plan is for this year, because we struggle with having other emotions than joy, basically. Like acceptable, like we accept joy so much quicker than accepting anger, accepting disbelief, accepting. So, where some people are learning not to do those things anymore, there's other people that are learning to be that because we're just so nice and we're just so easy to just like maneuver. And it's like, oh, you need to change the time. That's fine. It's not a thing for me. And then ultimately, we kind of get, we kind of miss out on experiencing those emotions. And it's like, you know what? This is actually a burden for me.
oh
And
my God, stop it. Would you stop? Like right now, for real, we got to get off this certain frequency because you're tugging on my heart. Because you know what? I honestly just said that to a star seed that I feel like is very, like a person I know that is a star seed and they have this energy of right now they're pissed. And it's like, to me, it's like divine rage, though. It's like we get tired too. And you can say, you know what, that's actually not cool with me. I don't like that. And it's okay to say that. You don't always
yeah,
have to be like okay with the shit that people choose to do. You can just tell
right.
them like, I'm not good with that. Actually, that does bother me. And if they can't process it in a way that's mature enough to say, well, like to take it into consideration, then that should tell you enough that maybe
Yeah.
you've been swallowing your words too long and you should have been said something because this person clearly doesn't care. But I know
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying because that has happened to me recently where normally I wouldn't say anything and I was like, no, I'm going to say something. This really bothers me. Like I don't like the way this makes me feel.
Yep.
And and it's okay for me to say that. And if you can't understand that, then that's not on me, but I'm going to say
Right.
it anyway, right?
Yep. Yep. And we allowed to sit there and be like, this isn't a complaint. I'm not looking for drama. I've If you haven't been witnessing me, you about to witness me now. Move forward in having this conversation. We need to have this discussion. uh it takes two people to have a conversation.
It does.
And so if a person thinks that I'm being a dictator, you know that's shit on them, because it's up to you, the observer, to express the observation. And that's something that we are healing, and that's more of a trauma, right? And you're
Mhm.
not going to pull me into your trauma that you've decided is a drama. And I've had to I went through a lot going through my demystifying awareness tour. I've been through a lot. My healing partner at that time made it seem like they were on board with healing the trauma. Um and they were. However, we both didn't realize, right? I'm not innocent in this. We both didn't realize that the trauma at that time was mixed in with the drama. And we have to have a lot of capacity to be able to sort through that, especially at the beginning of this awakening. You know, we have to understand that what I could say right now is I feel like unconscious actions are going to be what most likely cause drama versus on subconscious actions is what's replicating the trauma.
Mhm.
And so a lot of people think subconscious and unconscious are the same thing, and they're not. You know, it might be an outcome, a development. You know, subconscious actions can create developments of unconscious actions as much as well as conscious actions. And so once people have like the ability to allow themselves to want to discern that, I tell you right there, that's a big part of that's like it's like a big bite of eating away at your trauma, because we have to want to be gentle with ourselves. You know, we have to want to know that we stepped into this to clear the rubble. And as it's like, it's just like cleaning inside of a couch. We already know. We already know there might be something sticky in there. I remember I used to clean the couch, especially when you have children and there's young people in the house. It's just
Oh,
silly,
I'm like imagining sticky Cheetos and all kinds of things and nails and all kinds of stuff.
all
Yes.
kind of stuff. My one son I used to let him eat a plum on the way to school. And I had a card to where that armrest comes out.
Oh, yeah.
He stuck his already eaten plum in there, closed it. I had no idea it was there for like weeks.
Oh, God.
And until I decided to clean the car, and I was like, "Oh my god, this like it's rotting," you
Yes,
know. And so like there's things in our history that are rotting, and our ancestors before us left that shit there. They were like, "I'm just gonna leave this there for the one that comes next."
exactly. And we like, what is that smell? What is that smell? And it's for you to clean up. It's
Yeah,
what we had come here to clean up. We were the ones sent in with the canine nose to sniff out what the heck that smell is and get it out of here. Get it out of here. And it's not nice. It's nasty. Sometimes you gotta go get
yeah,
gloves and you gotta peel it back and you gotta
yeah,
be real with what it is that you see. But that's
yep,
the thing about like, you know, I'm a real I just be real with myself. I don't allow myself to fall into delusion anymore. I believe that I played the game for a long time because I wanted to be like everybody else. I wanted to just be normal. I just wanted to not have the thoughts and the codes and the nothing. I didn't want to be nothing different. I just wanted to be like everybody else. And I realized that doing that, I was fighting so much. I was creating my own trauma. I was
right,
traumatizing my dang on self. And everything external to me would kept reminding me I was not like everybody else because internally I was creating that trauma within myself, by trying to hide who I was. So externally
yep,
I kept seeing it like you're not like everybody else. You're not like everybody. And you're gonna
yeah,
keep being reminded of that until
mm-hmm.
you heal the fact that you're not like everybody else. And that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. And actually it's a good thing you're not like everybody else because you're here and you can't help anybody. You can't do anything that you're here to do until you realize that you're not like anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when I learned that when rebellious people were telling me, why are you rebelling against the rebellion? And I'm like, listen, if it doesn't go with the flow, I am not signing up for this.
Yes.
Like, I don't mind protesting, right? But I feel like there's some idiocracy to it. A lot of people might be upset by me saying this. I don't care. That's your problem. Deal with your trauma. Sounds like a personal problem. But no, like there's just so many things that have created obstruction for us as a people. And I feel like the current representation of protesting is just very violent. And when I went to the Million Man March for, I think it's the Million Man March. I'm not always so keen with the names, but it's the march that they do every year when Martin Luther King spoke in front of the Lincoln Memorial.
Okay.
And so, we're walking, we're going through this thing, we're hearing people protest, and I got my loudspeaker, and you hear people that say, no justice, no peace. And it's a crowd of people singing this shit. And I'm like, why are we manifesting no justice, no peace? This is wild. And you guys are co signing this together? And I'm just like, this is just propaganda of what, like, maybe what was ever showed in the movies. Do we know if the Black Panthers from back then were doing those kind of protests? I don't know. But at the end of the day, there's I won't go too much into the politics part of it, but I will say that I refuse to chant those words, and I changed them. And some of the people started saying it with me. And I said, through justice, we will find peace.
Yes. Yes.
And
No justice, no peace.
like, what are we asking for?
Right. How about to know justice is to know peace? How about
Yeah,
anything but no justice, no? But
right.
we say a lot of things and we just be saying the things. We just say what other people say and they just say it. They say it
Yeah.
unconsciously.
Yep. 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 And that's what creates the drama. That's what gets people riled up. That's what gets people talking crap. That's what gets people killed, shot, or arrested. And even at this point in time, I feel like protesting is just as much as a sham as these charity foundations that are trying to make cancer go away. Like, we're just co-signing upon who like, are we co-signing someone's drama or someone's trauma? Has any of us actually dived into that? Is something that I would really like to see be illuminated more, because we're just really big on sharing information. And maybe there needs to be a class, maybe there needs to be a course. They have photography in college. You got to take a film class, you got to learn about the history of film. Maybe this is a good time for us to start learning about the history of why the hell I should care. Like, remind me why we're doing it this way,
Yes,
please.
exactly.
Because
No,
I
that
need
makes sense. It's like, but it's because we repeat patterns. We are a species that repeats patterns until someone breaks the pattern, and it takes a lot for us to get back onto a new unpaved road because we
yeah,
love what's already comfortable. We
yeah.
love people to make things easier for us. We feel like if we
Mhm.
could just say it, but we don't even know that, yeah, you're right. If you can say it, it can change, but you're not even saying the right things. Like if we're gonna go out here and say something, don't say that. The hell? Like, let's be intentional with our words, because
Yes.
words are spells, right? So if we're gonna go out
Yeah.
here and be protesting, right? Let's use our words, let's use these spells in to our advantage, not our disadvantage. And
Right.
like etymology, I believe that that's an important, like, I want to bring an somebody who does etymology. Come on, Pranoya,
Yes.
because I am all into learning the meaning behind the word, because we think that just because you say so, well, I just said that. No, your words are powerful. Your words
Yeah.
have meaning, and the things that you
Mm,
say, they carry weight. And you
yep.
create this reality with your words, your thoughts, and your deeds. All of those things create the reality we live in. And then we like, why is it so crazy out here? What are you saying? What are you saying though? What are you putting out there to make it look like the way it is right now?
And I feel like that's a trauma. I feel like that's a trauma response to keep getting like caught in that loop of thinking that you have no control and that this is the best route. And it's like, what makes you think if it's the best route? And if one word comes out your mouth that's in similarity of someone else's response that is outside of this awakening community, I would beg you to really weigh that, because the point here is to understand where spirituality has not been able to keep the flow going. The point is to understand, if we can just understand one thing. My light likes to turn off on me. Come on, people. But any other time, my electricity just stays. People, people.
Shout out to all the star seeds. I see y'all in the comments.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the light back.
Oh yeah.
Um, every other time, the light on my thing will stay on, and whatevs. It's always a thing. But anywho, our point here is the number one thing that gets repeated over and over and over again in every single religion: we are all God. And that truth seems to skip the conscious mind. Or people are just not consciously like seeing how to implement that. But I assure you, without a doubt, if you keep just saying, I'm speaking to God, we will reduce the amount of crap that we put into our paradigm, you
Mm.
know. And I remember one thing that someone said to me, and it stuck, mostly because it was a person that actually cared to say this. They weren't just saying it to say it. And they were like, I was walking up the stairs one day, very unconsciously, and they were like, "Why are you stomping?" And I'm like, "I don't know, I'm just walking up the stairs." And they're like, "Why don't you think of it like this? Think about every step is like walking on God. And do you really want to stomp on God?" And I'm like, you know what? But you can't say that to everyone, because everyone's not going to have that deep resonance, and it won't fall on everyone's ears with care. But it really does mean a lot. Now I listen to everyone's feet. Before, I used to be a person that would like not fully pick up my feet, and you could tell because that part of your shoe
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that shaved off,
Yeah. Because you're just sliding.
sliding. And so now I'm just like, I hear it, and I'm like, that can be a form of our laziness coming out, you know. And maybe we just have too much lazy in our body, that the body's just like, I don't even care about how well I'm stepping. And you can take it from
Right.
anywhere.
No, but you're right. You're right. And I think, yes, that complacency, peace and love, that complacency, we get, again, that comfortability. Nothing grows when we're comfortable, and we like things around us to get comfortable. But I just challenge us to allow things to get a little bit uncomfortable and see
Yep.
how beautiful life can be. Like, shout out to Patah, who, if you guys don't know, Patah is like one of the, to me, one of the people who are paving the way of like living free. He lives truly out in nature. He
Yeah.
lives, in his car if he chooses, or in a tent. He lives in the land. He takes outside. He's under the sun, and it's a challenge. It's not easy. However, it's free. And we have to ask ourselves, do we want easy or do we want freedom? And freedom means we get up in the morning and we go feed some animals on our farm versus going to the grocery store, calling Instacart, or doing the lazy quick thing. Freedom means like we build our own houses, or we plant our own food, or we raise our own children.
Maybe.
I'm just saying, just a little bit. So freedom requires work. Freedom
Yeah.
requires real true intention, but it's worth it work. We would rather do
Yeah.
a job where we don't even know, we're mindlessly just hitting some keys and we're getting that check, versus I would rather put my energy into something I'm actually like seeing the fruit of it grow and become something, and I know what it is. I'm not just pressing numbers. I don't even know where it's going. Who cares? I just need to get this check. Think how mindless we are, unconscious. And so we want
Yep.
people to look up at the sky and worship, and be grateful for the sun. There's money to make. We just got to push these buttons. We got to ask people to stop being so unconscious and become aware that, like, if we really truly want to heal the trauma, we have to be we have to do the work. We can't slide our feet. We got to lift our feet up. We got to tell God that we're willing to do the work. We're willing to put in
Yeah.
the steps. We're willing to be the warriors. We're willing to step and not just protest, but do
Yeah.
the work. Like, okay,
Yes.
I'm not going to keep asking you, because I saw somewhere where it says, like, when you constantly ask someone for something, you're really begging, right? If you
Yep.
constantly over explaining yourself, you're begging, because they already got it. You didn't have to say
Yeah.
it again. They weren't going to give it to you
Hmm.
that way. So find another way. How do you do that? Let's
Yeah.
start brainstorming. Let's stop going to the
Hmm.
same things that haven't been working for so long. I'm just saying, like,
Very true.
you march the damn soles off your shoes and ain't nothing going to change. And you just going to be able to say, well, I was there marching. I was there, though. I did that. I did that. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, what happened, though? We're still here asking for the same thing in 2026
Yeah.
that you were
Yeah.
asking for in 1963. So,
Right. And another, like, to add on to that, what I have learned in my coaching development is, if you repeat yourself, that means you don't even believe what you're saying.
okay.
And
Because
that
what I'm
that
saying,
that hit me.
I don't got to keep saying it.
Yes, that hit me. It hit me because, those that are parents are, I feel like, are the ones that need to adapt this truth way more quicker than other people. And I say that to say that because we're growing new consciousness, right? Because I firmly believe the children are the raising of our consciousness, right? Because we're raising them and we're raising their consciousness. And ultimately, we cannot, like, it's not helpful to support repetitive behavior with being attached to some type of prize, some type of accolade. That's not where we're gonna win. um I feel like winning is when you activate someone to actually be conscious
Mhm.
and inviting them, and we need to not just invite our children, we need to invite everyone. And, well, do you want to do that? Is that how you want to be? And being open to ask these questions, because if we cannot hide who we're being. We cannot sit there. A lot of people sit there and say, well, the second you become, more consciously awake, you should be indoctrinating your children to do the same thing. And it's like, I feel like that's just like a revert to traumatic episodes versus allowing there to be some type of drama, healthy drama. We're not looking to move away from these things. Create development for us. What we can do is just make healthier development, healthier struggle. And the one thing that our children are doing are struggling to develop. And so we gotta allow ourselves to input that. And then what I would do was then reverse that and do it to adults because we're in our reparenting stage as well,
Mm-hmm.
And so the best thing I can do is allow you to see how to raise your consciousness because that's what we're ultimately doing.
Yeah.
And we get to learn at the same time with our children because if our children can get through the stubbornness, the defiance, and figure out how to make it worthwhile for themselves, we got something to learn from them. They teach. My children teach me all the time. When I was helping my daughter, I helped my daughter drive, and driving is a bit extreme for me because I have PTSD. Like anything with the thought of hitting my head, I'm just like, listen, I'm traumatized. It's gonna be a while. And so I'm still attempting to teach her, even though she's so new. And I'm like, I'm so sorry if I sound like I'm yelling. And she was like, no, you're good. She's like, I don't feel like you're yelling at me, and I just still keep doing it. Like, I'm so sorry if you think I'm yelling at you. It's not you. It is me. I know it's me. Please don't take this personally. And allowing myself to speak that grief. We don't have to sit there and hold it in and be like, oh my God, let me just be like so proper for my daughter. And I can't be going through an episode in front of my child. No, we need to feel comfortable with expressing ourselves, even if it's not happiness. Because, like, we were speaking at the beginning, I kind of struggle with setting my standards of expressing more emotions than gratitude, and like how deeply I can go into it. So this year, my goal is to learn how to be more angry, as I say it with a smile on my face.
You are angry. I just want to be a little angry.
I'm going to do my best. Because
I can appreciate that though. I can because a lot of empathic, sweet, caring people. It's time that it's all about balance, and it's
Mhm.
divine rage, it's divine anger. It is expressing it, so it's not you're not just holding it in. People say what they say. You know, they hold it in to keep the peace, but
Right.
who peace?
Right.
Peace. Because I know I'm
Right.
not at peace whenever I'm holding anything in. Even if I got to pee, I'm not at peace if I'm holding it in. I got to let it out, and then I'm at peace. So I'm more at peace if I let you know that something is bothering me, and then you can figure it out or
Yeah.
whatever. But I've let it out. I've let it. But versus, and so even being more angry, mine is to be just more assertive about myself. Um, you know, I believe that beings that carry a certain energy need to protect themselves in different ways than other beings. And sometimes I'll put it in my head how I think of it is like if you're a magician, right? You don't let everybody super close to you because they'll start to try to learn your tricks. And
Yep.
once they learn your tricks, your light, it's like they're stealing your light. It's almost like they're learning who you truly are, and that's cool. I mean, it's cool for maybe your kids to know a couple of your little tricks, but not everybody
Mhm.
should know all of your tricks. And when you have a certain light, not everybody should be that close to you. Even if they close to you, there should still be a part of you that is sacred.
Yeah.
It's just for you and divine. And it's the thing about you that makes you you. It's like you can't explain it, and you shouldn't try. I don't believe that we should have to try to. It's just what
Right.
makes us us, and I think that needs to be guarded more with empathic and sacred people, because we give so much of ourselves that we often pour from that part that which should never be poured from.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely 1,000%. That reminds me of as we expand over these years, we are affecting the people that have been friends with us prior to our expansion, and it messes up their head. Yeah, cool, and I attempt to still maintain as much of a relationship that I can. And some people, it's just, you know what, maybe it's just time for us to move our separate way. And I get a lot of slack on my Facebook. I think that a lot of people have already dispersed, a lot of the haters. I still have a little bit, commentary here and there, because I say some pretty radical things on my Facebook and I don't care.
Right.
And so a lot of people will sit there and be like, I feel like you were calling me out. And I'm like, so you have that trauma too? Because
Right, because clearly, no, I was just being a mirror, and you felt it, and now you felt called out by looking in the mirror. But I wasn't talking, like, you don't even have to be
right.
talking to people. You could just say things, but it's
Yeah.
because people like to sweep stuff under the rug, and they feel like, oh my God,
Yes.
why are you hitting me
Yes.
there?
Yes.
I don't want you hitting
Yes.
me there. Why are you hitting me there?
Oh my gosh. And so I had to have a conversation with this friend of mine. We really don't converse anymore, but I would never discount them at that extent. I just know that they're at a place that they cannot grow yet. And so they were like, when I finally got on the phone, they were like, yeah, you posted something like 3 months ago. And I felt some type of way about it, and wanted to go back like 4 years prior and like bring up a conversation that had nothing to do with the posts specifically and the questions that they wanted to talk to me about. And I was just very firm, like, I am I am like settled with whatever conversation we ended with about this particular topic. I don't need to talk about it anymore. Sounds like you want to talk about it more, but we didn't agree to get on this phone conversation to talk about 4 years ago. And I did not make space for a 4-year-old conversation. So if you want to have that conversation later, by all means, let me know. But I gave you space and capacity for how you felt about my post right now. And they tried so many times to keep going back into the past. And I'm just like, I'm not there with you, you know?
Yeah.
And they kept posting. It's so funny, right? They kept posting, like, whenever I would post something about life coaching, holistic, spiritual, they'll sit there and be like, I really don't understand what you're doing, but I definitely support your part of your tax services, like your business services. And I'm just like, why are you putting this on my post? They were like, well, I just wanted you to know that. I'm like, I'm not ignoring you, but I just needed you to know. And I'm like, you don't need to tell me that on a social media platform that I have open for people to see and potentially be clients of mine. I I don't need to have people that are close to me that intimately know me sitting there like outwardly saying, I don't agree with anything that you're saying, but I like this part of your business. I just felt like it wasn't something that you needed to say.
Not at all. Right.
Like,
Well, you needed to post that. Why? Yeah, don't. Oh my God. But that's why the shift happened. That's why certain
yeah,
people got shifted up out of our conscious awareness. And in my eyes, if I can't see you, you don't exist. That's just for
yeah,
me. And it's not a hateful thing. It's a real thing. We create our reality. So in creating your reality, You have to say what is for you and what's not for you. You know, we do get to call judgment. We get to call judgment on a lot of things that are affect us. You know, like, okay, I'm not judging you, but I'm telling you that this don't work for me. So people who do things like that, yeah, buddy, like, they just want to be. They want the drama. When you
Yeah.
trying to, they trying to pull back old. That's that loop again. That's that
Yep.
karmic. It's karmic energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Yep.
that karmic energy that wants to keep you in the loop with them instead of being able to elevate. Let's talk about right now. Anything you want to talk about right now? No, no, right now. What do you have to say right now? They can't
Mm-hmm.
stay there because they need you in that loop. They need you 4 years ago because you right now ain't even dealing with, like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about. So yeah, people like
Yeah.
that, yeah, that's weird.
And I think one of the posts that was very touchy for a lot of people, and I'm just like, these are general posts. I'm not saying absolutely everyone are going through these traumatic experience. Every culture, community has a different kind of thing. And so one of the things that I posted was about the indifference that is created when for me, I'm a female, so I'm only going to talk for my side, that you can be in a group of friends and everyone's single, right? And when I say single, not married. And many times when one of the females will get married very quickly, like their single girlfriends are like gone. They're no longer in the picture because that's not suitable for a married person to hang out with single people. And oh my God, like almost broke the internet with these kind of conversations because people are like, that's not true. Sometimes girls are just devilish and they don't need to be around people's man. And I'm just like, but where did this come from? Why is it so automatic? How is something like that something that's adopted so widely, so easily? And why can't we still be friends with single people? By
Right.
the way, I don't have any married friends.
I do. I was
See?
married at one point though, but now I'm single in a single way. I guess whatever way you want to say single is. I don't know. But I have married friends, but I don't talk to them often because they married. Like, married friends are a little different than your single friends. Your single friends got all day, every day to
Yeah,
talk to you and keep you up on things. You just have to have a different type of relationship. But
right.
um, I think the married people definitely need to keep their single friends because you lose a lot of yourself when you attach to another person, and you
Yeah,
lose a lot of your true identity. I get that one and one come to two. I don't know. It becomes one, but I believe in one and one plus equals two. And so
right.
I think that people should, when even if you get married, like I was married before, listen, don't let go of your friends, your real good friends. And if you feel like you got friends that you can't have a husband around, them shouldn't be your friends anyway. That's a little weird. Like, I don't want to be around nobody I can't bring my husband around, because what kind of fucking person are you? I'm sorry. I don't even know if I'm cursing. I'm sorry. But what kind of person are you? You know what I'm saying? To be, and like that I don't know. I
It
think
makes you
people
just it just makes you think about, like, so how long were you willing to be friends with a toxic person?
right. Like, yeah, why would
You're
I want to be friends with somebody that I can't listen? If you, yeah, but you know what? Hey, I was friends with toxic people before, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, you just never know how toxic people are. But
yeah,
I've never consciously been aware that someone was toxic and stayed friends with them. But
right,
as soon as they
right,
have the toxicity, you gotta go, and that's not regardless
right,
if you got a man or not. Like, but I get
right.
that. Yeah, I've heard that little, you get married, you gotta have married friends, but that's
But what
That's
about
dangerous.
helping your friends get married? What about helping your friends get married? You just want to get out and leave everybody alone? Like, dang,
Yeah,
was you even a good friend kind of a thing?
right. That part. That
Like
part.
you were just holding me until you found something
You
better.
got something better to do. Exactly. What the world? No, because honestly, all ships are ships, right? So relationships,
Right.
friendships. So when I'm somebody's like, if you're my friend, like for real, if you're my friend, the only difference between you and this man is that we not banging. That's it. Because we are connected. You supposed to be, I baby. What? So
Right.
yeah, I don't know. Not
It's
to helping them get married is
it's
wrong.
it's a
So
big
blame you.
cycle. Yeah.
Somebody
Wait, what?
said no to helping them get married because if things go wrong, they'll blame you. Yeah, that's
Listen, that creates a lot of drama too sometimes.
true.
It creates a lot of drama because it's like, I mean, a lot of it goes back to just like a lot of trauma, but we need to get to a point to where we need to separate and just be like, okay, how can I just release the drama?
Yeah.
Because releasing the drama will keep people around me that can help me get through my trauma.
Yes, absolutely. That is so true. And I
Yeah.
believe in releasing the trauma. I believe that that's what we're all here for at this
Yeah.
time. And I think that that's why we're here in this age. A lot of our parents and our grandparents, they came through the age of Pisces where all the illusion, the secrets were the 12
Yeah.
houses, secret enemies, hidden
Hmm.
things. The deep, deep ocean. I'm a Pisces, y'all. I love my sign, but I understand the illusion and delusion of my sign. Okay. I get it. So a lot of illusions and delusions are being lifted, and we are now becoming more aware of things, which means when you become aware, you can start to heal. You can't heal what you're not aware of. If you don't know your cut, you're not even going to go get a bandage, let
Yeah.
alone figure out where the cut came from. So we're at the point now where we're asking questions that other people never asked before because we want answers, because we
Hmm.
want to heal. We don't want to just bandage it up. We want to actually heal what has been going on. And like you said, we want to find the stank. We want to know who left the plum in the back of the car. We want to know where is it coming from so we can get rid of it once and for all. Because once we
Yeah.
heal certain things in our bloodlines, our children don't have to deal with it. Their children
Yeah.
won't have to deal with it. It's a trauma bond we have within families, within bonds, even within friends. We can trauma bonds with our friends. And what you said earlier hit me with that is we trauma bond when we don't speak up and say certain things hurt us because we just want to be with that person. Oh, that's my
Yeah.
friend. She's running late. She's always running late. This is what she does. But if I tell her that, my time is precious too, and I really appreciate, and I say it in a manner, it's not, offensive, and she still doesn't do it, then am I just ignoring it so we can be friends? That's a trauma bond. I
Right.
can't be real with myself. And there's something within me that's afraid to lose you. I'm never afraid to lose anyone. If I can't tell you this what's bothering me and you try to fix it or what have you, or we work through it, then baby, there's your way and there's my way and there's the highway. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I love this conversation. We already we've already gotten surpassed the hour mark, which
Oh yeah.
is, I told you before we came on the front end, and I was like, this conversation sounds like it could be a series. And
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about the topics that have been put into the pot, and I want to be able to come back and discover this conversation more, because I actually had like some things that I wrote down
Mhm.
that maybe we could just like comment trauma or drama really quick without like
Okay.
going into it. So, monogamy traps are modern day beliefs. Are people looking at them as drama right now, or are they dealing with the trauma? I mean, yeah. Are they looking at it as drama, or are they dealing with the trauma?
I would say both. I think it's both. I think honestly, it's become very dramatic because of the social media effect of it. But it's honestly uncovering the trauma of the things that have been hidden for so long. The grandmas was married for 57 years, but why was grandma married for 57 years? That's
Hmm.
the trauma of it all that nobody talks about. Maybe grandma didn't have no
Right.
job and no money of her own and couldn't leave, and she had to stay. And granddaddy had seven, six, seven, eight, nine families on the side. Like there was a lot, just because grandma and granddad was together for 50 years didn't say it was the easiest 50 years of her life. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. And a lot of people got married because he was a good man and he could take care of my family.
He a good man, Savannah. He's a good man, Savannah. No, but her mom was traumatizing her with that shit, like pushing her back, like go towards him because he's a good. But look, he got these certain things. And yeah, he had a wife, and yes, he cheated on his wife with you, but he's a good man. So, like, listen, you're giving me all the red flags and telling me he's a good man. Mom. No, but you're right. I think it's both. I think it's trauma. We're healing the trauma, but it's causing a lot of drama.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, it is causing a lot of drama. Let's see another one. I believe the same thing. We're attempting to get to the trauma of it, but it's causing more drama right now than trauma. Okay, I got another one. Upgrading our beliefs. How we're upgrading our beliefs. Is it more trauma or drama? Upgrading our belief patterns. Hmm. I think it's a lot of drama.
I think it's drama because of the trauma behind beliefs. Beliefs come with doubt, and
Yeah.
beliefs have been pushed on us from other people. And so that's trauma. That's a trauma bond we have with, different belief systems,
Yeah.
religions, thought processes. I think we're trauma bonded to them, and it's
Yeah.
causing. I think trauma and drama is like going hand in hand with these questions
I
because,
know, right?
yeah, it's drama
I know,
because
right?
people get attached to beliefs, and so when gnosis or knowing comes into play, they refuse it regardless because they're so attached to beliefs, and so it
Right.
becomes a drama. Yeah.
Right. Sounds like drama needs to be saved as well. Save the drama for your mama.
Please don't save it for your mama. She tired of a drama. Give it to your daddy. Everybody always give it the drama to your mama because it rhymes. Give it to your daddy. Give it to your uncle. Give it to your cousin. Please, not your mama.
Disperse.
Disperse it.
Disperse.
Confirmation. My phone just said confirmed. Give it to anybody but her. Mother is tired. Okay, mother is tired.
This is true. This is true. Give it up.
Give it to God. Just don't give it to her. Just don't give it to her.
Just take the weight off the ancestors. That's what we
Please.
need to do.
Please. Oh,
I'll be calling for my sane ancestors. I'm like, where are my sane ancestors? Can y'all come forward and talk first and send the crazy ones to the back?
okay.
Like,
People
they
be forgetting that
last.
too. They be calling on, oh, any old ancestors. Do you not know that your ancestral line is large, huge, long? You got ancestors in the upper and the lower realms. You got trickster spirit ancestors. You got, okay, you better be careful with the ancestors you call on.
1,000%, 1,000%. So I want to take this moment to just help us start getting wrapped up. And this is the portion of the show where we offer some empowered tips because as we sit here and we unfold all of these deep rooted conversations that many of our listeners out there are being given to ponder, how can we help empower their forward moments?
Mm. Empowered tips. Trust yourself, your inner self, that little voice, not the loud ego, but trust it, because that little voice inside of you is connected to something much larger. and it's honestly here to guide you and be your compass. Don't let the outside distractions take you off your path, and know that the universe is always conspiring in your favor.
I love that. I love that. So I will add, hug a tree.
The tree.
Go and find a big tree, like a tree so big that you can't even wrap your arms around. And understand that your problems are so big you can't wrap your hands around them. And in order for you to get to the other side of touching what's on the other side of that tree, bring a friend and hug the tree together and see how that can help bring you into more fuller moments. Um, the first step is to just reduce dealing with drama and trauma, because if if we try to get like overexcited, a lot of times this is a typical thing, especially for our newbies. We're like, clean up the trauma, clean up the trauma, clean up the trauma, clean up the trauma. And we're baka thing people like, nah, I'm not talking to you no more. I'm not doing none of that. But that can just accumulate a lot more drama, because now we're angering people that they don't need to be any more angered than they're already feeling on the inside. So we have to be mindful of, we can only heal as gracefully as we allow the people that live around us to be in their grace. We're not here to judge. We're just here to expand and allow ourselves to do that around other people. So take some time. Go hug a tree.
Hug a tree. Yes.
I appreciate everyone. So we're going to take this moment to share with you, how can you find Pronoia, the goddess Rael, on more of her platforms?
So everywhere you go, people want to know who we are. So I tell them we are Pronoia. Pronoia Starseed Podcast on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere. It's Pronoia, Pronoia, Starseed Podcast. And Pronoia means the universe is always conspiring in your favor. I believe that there are star seeds here. I am one. Mahatma's one. There are quite a few on the platform. You guys come over if you feel it in your heart that you are a star seed and you want more and more guidance, because we have a lovely platform over there. Mahatma is one of the beautiful star seeds on Pronoia Starseed Podcast. I'm the host over there, and there's plenty more to learn. So you can catch me on all the platforms. Again, it's Pronoia Starseed Podcast.
Fantabulous. Thank you so much. And for everyone to find out more ways to work with me, Mahatma Starseed, and Elite Motivation, you will find the link in the description below for my link tree. And it has all of my platforms, as well as my private community. Patreon is where you can get more exclusive content, as well as more coaching, more manifesting, more clarity. This is what I stand for. This is what I help individuals to do, on top of healing our everyday conversations. This is Mahatma Starseed and our goddess Rael, tuning out.
Peace.